Just when you thought Nintendo's situation couldn't get crazier, we actually have a tweet to go over that suggests that Nintendo Switch 2 game prices are actually being undercharged, which means that essentially Nintendo is still at a loss when it comes to selling Switch 2 games. So, as you all know, it is currently $80 to get Mario Kart World. Well, I'm gonna have this tweet on screen that tells you from a former economics professor. Not sure where their institution is, but I'll leave the tweet in the description for you guys to go and read. But essentially, the Japanese yen does not translate to USD very well, which means that Nintendo needs to actually charge higher prices for these games. And it turns out they are still somehow selling it at a loss, because apparently in 2017, when Mario Kart 8 Deluxe was $60, it was actually it actually translates to about $80 in today's money. So essentially, from what I gather on this tweet, is Nintendo is losing money, even with the price it is at right now, which is completely contrary to every other bit of, every video I've made this week has been about like tariffs and prices and all that. Nintendo is actually selling Switch 2 games at a loss, which is this going to change anyone's opinions? I have absolutely no idea. I think this entire situation is very uncertain, and no one likes to see higher costs. But the reality of it is Nintendo is a business. Their primary market is the United States, and there is not much they can do. They got to make money. They have to make money. That is like step number one of business 101 right there, is making money. And Nintendo, if they sell the game for $60 or even $70, they are making a significant loss. According to the tweet, the inflation has gone up by about $20 since 2017, which is just, that's crazy enough on its own. But the fact that Nintendo is still selling it at a loss is even crazier to me. And as a content creator, I want to be sure to bring you guys the news and all of that, and just to be up to date with all of the information. And I felt like this was a very important topic, because I'm not expecting this to like change anybody's perception. I did see in the replies to this tweet that people just are uncomfortable with the new reality, that things are just like, the prices are going up, and it's not necessarily Nintendo's fault like we previously envisioned it would be. So another thing, according to the tweet, is now you have to consider the United States economy on top. $59.99 was what Mario Kart 8 Deluxe cost in 2017. Inflation alone, no other factors, makes that $78 today. So they're actually charging it's actually a fair price point, according to this tweet. Now, that is insane. That is absolutely insane. The tweet also goes on to say that the Japanese yen does not convert well to the US dollar, or really any currency right now, which is kind of I believe that's kind of like a theme around the world right now. But no way did I expect that this was actually going to be a thing. I did not expect to be learning about frickin' economics and, like exchange rates, tariffs, all of that. I did not expect to be talking about that when the Switch 2 was announced, but here we are, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. And are the prices still too high? Yes, but is it a Nintendo thing or a world thing? Because I'm starting to think now, with this tweet, that it is more of a world thing. And again, the shareholders of Nintendo, again, not going to be impressed if the Switch 2 games are not making any money. Because, they invest in this company. It's very important that they do. And, people's wages are not going up. Prices are going up, but people's wages are not. And that is a very, watch this be disproved in like 2 minutes, where, Nintendo could actually sell it for a bit different. But in my personal opinion, if I had to give like a bit of a counter to this, why not just sell the digital games at a cheaper rate? Why not go the extra little bit? Because physical is a little different. That is not subject to any tariffs or anything at all. And selling it at a digital, like selling it for $70 digital, that's not bad at all. That's not bad at all. I think people would eat that up, honestly. But I hope this did give you a little bit of a brand new perspective on the situation going on with Mario Kart, because it has been non-stop. The prices are the biggest, they're the focal point of the Switch 2 conversation right now, and they still are. I mean, I tried making a Mario Kart World video yesterday, just talking positively about the game. Still very excited for it, but we're right back to prices and all that, and it's just wild. I even have I will also link some other resources in the description below, discussing or just illustrating how the inflation has impacted the Mario Kart series as a whole. And gaming is not cheap anymore, and people do not want to accept that. I got first place, bro. First time getting first place in one of these videos. But it is just kind of eye-opening to see how the world is sort of like reacting to the overwhelming pricing of the Nintendo Switch 2 and their games and everything along those lines. It's just wild. And if we actually, I'm gonna try and pull up the graph on the thing right now. Actually, let me, I can put it on OBS. Let's go. I don't have to put this in Premiere. There we go. That's the current graph for the Mario Kart prices. In fact, I believe Super Mario Kart actually costed $55. That was a correction. But if you look on the furthest column there, it is actually $90 for the original Super Nintendo Mario Kart. That is absolutely insane. So right now, if we are adjusting prices, as you can see, if we go Mario Kart 8 would be $80 now. It would be Mario Kart 8 Deluxe would be $78. Mario Kart World being charged $79.99 is actually not a bad deal, given how today's pricing and just how the dollar has inflated. This is all a result of inflation. And is anyone gonna like that? Hell no. No one is gonna like that. But that's just kind of how it's gonna be, man. That's just kind of how the cookie crumbles right now in today's world. It's not ideal. It's not fun to see games be priced so high. I don't like this video. I don't like telling you why this is being priced so much. But if you're expecting a price decrease, I'm sorry, that this is bad news for you. That is not happening under any circumstances, especially with these tariffs coming in. We would be lucky. The US would be lucky to see the prices stay the same that they are right now. But I'm hopeful for you guys. I'm hopeful that things stay the same, because right now, $700 for a Switch 2 is very, very, very steep. But I'm telling you, the games right now, and that doesn't even talk about like Bonanza. Donkey Kong Bonanza is $70. Nintendo might actually be selling that at a loss right now, which is wild. Wild to even fathom, man. I can't... Oh. Nintendo has had the craziest week I have ever seen. I'm actually making... I don't know if I've talked about this before, but I'm actually making a video about how Nintendo has changed from the Wii U to the Switch when they were at their lowest of lows, where Iwata had to cut his wage just to make sure employees were not laid off. Like, that is where we're at right now, ladies and gentlemen, where Nintendo is... I mean, it's gone corporate as frick. They were always corporate, but they're focused on, like, the community aspect, where we had, like, figureheads like Reggie and Iwata and all of that. That was basically the subject of this video, and I delayed recording it, waiting for the Switch 2 Direct, just to have, like, a little segment in the end talking about, hey, this is the future, here's what, like, basically, here's the trajectory of the company after all of this. And I have to completely rewrite everything with that. It was supposed to be a big video, and it's gonna be even bigger now, because the Switch 2 has so many twists and turns. There's, like, updates every hour at this rate. It's ridiculous how much we've had to talk about. I, again, never had anything like this, and I've been following Nintendo probably a good 10 years or so. More than that, honestly. It is wild. It is wild what is going on right now. And again, the only people that are losing right now are the consumers, and that's just kind of how it's always been. And that sucks. It absolutely does suck. It reeks, but I hope this video gave you guys a little bit more of a perspective on why the games are priced this high, and maybe to help you kind of understand a little bit more. Is it overpriced? Yes, but that's the price of everything at this moment in time. Everything will be linked in the description, all of my sources, everything like that. If you guys enjoyed this video and you want more Nintendo Switch 2 stuff or just more content in general, make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe, and yeah, I will see you in the next one. Peace out, everybody.